Hello, mountain men and mountain ladies. Got another Fallout 76 video here for you today. Currently, I'm attempting to try to get the Tenderizer weapon plan. I've been farming it for the past few days and haven't been able to get it. Personally, I love the weapon. The idea and the concept behind Graham and Charlie, the friendly super mutant and his Brahmin companion, are really nice to me. I think it makes a really nice touch where they go through and they roam the map as traders, and I really love this event. I really love the Tenderizer because I had it on PS4 and I thought it was a really cool weapon. The event, as you just saw, was called Graham's Meat Cook. The cause for this event is that Graham is reminiscent of his past when he and his friends used to throw a cookout. He does the event for a week. It's called Meat Week, and he goes through and he has cookouts from the start of every hour on the hour for a week or two at a time. I believe the Meat Week ends this time on September 22nd, 2023, but I'm not 100% sure. Now, to complete the event, you go through and you help Graham with his cookout. I may make a more detailed video about it in other events if you like this video, or you just leave a comment asking me for it, and I'll go through and try to do those. But if you go through and you can help Graham by doing about 9 things. 1 is running the spit, 2 is playing the drums, 3 is putting your prime meat, which I can talk about more later, on the grill for the script. 4 is feeding Charlie. You have to have beforehand have learned the recipe and made it. 5 is collecting greens. 6 is collecting critter chunks, 7 is stopping fires. 8 is cleaning up trash. And 9 is going through and cleaning up Charlie's poo-poo piles. Now, it sounds like a lot of work, but it isn't bad if you're with other people. Currently, my experience for the past few days, people have been going through and been pretty active on the event. Go on ahead and let me know what your gamer tag is and your platform that you play on, and we might be able to get you some help to go through and have people join you. Alternatively, you can also go through and join public teams and use the emotes to remind people of the event, because sometimes if they're in a daily op or whatever, they won't go through and they won't know about the event. Now I'll go through and I'll talk about the prime meat a little bit. If you're after it for that sweet, sweet script for the purveyor, because I know a lot of people are trying to go through and get the rerolls on the tenderizers and the other weapons that are available. Prime meat is obtained from doing the Prime Cups events that arise about every 15 minutes in the servers. You get so many depending on how well and where you perform them. An example would be the Ash Sheep that has a Sheep Squatch as the Prime Boss. I have an interesting video for y'all later on that. Now, if you just saw, I went through and I picked up the tenderizer from somebody that had went through and left they just dropped their stuff. Now, what I like doing is I love going through and trying to find all the bags and seeing if anybody has dropped anything that they don't want. My friends call me a loot whore, so I go through and I take that name and I do it honestly. But I go through and I try to look at all of the bags that people drop, and if I'm not mistaken, you'll go through and you'll see me here go through and try to join another one of my friends, which I'll go through and I'll join his server, and if I can help him during the event, I might be able to get a technical second helping of the event. If not, I'll go through and I will end up at least being able to go through and check the bags. Now, some people go through and they don't like that. They think that you're just mooching off the system. But if you look here in a little bit, there is a person that's going through and they're just standing there. It's actually somebody going through an AFK in the event, and they're not really helping. Now, you can go through and AFK the event by being on the spit, or going through and being on the drums, and selecting the option for your wheel, not the wheel, I apologize, for the option of the teams. What I've seen people do, and what I've done personally, is I've gone through for mine, I have an Xbox controller, I go up to the drums or I go to the spit, and I will go through, and after I'm on it, I will push the button down for the options. It'll go through and bring that up, and then you take and wrap a rubber band or a piece of string, dental floss, whatever you have that can go through and cause your stick to go from right to left. What you do is you go through and you tie it off to where it goes and is constantly pulling to the left, and it will go through and flip through the teams that are available to go through and join. Now, if you go through and you create your own events team, you'll go through and you'll actually help them out that way. I personally go through and share the perk card of inspirational, so anybody who joins my team, they get that extra 15% when they're a part of the team. So if they go through and they want to use the event to farm or to go through and get a little bit more extra XP, here you can go through and you can see that I'm super happy with the weapon. I went through and I couldn't believe that somebody just went through and dropped the tenderizer down. I believe it only has about a 1% spawn chance for you to go through and even get. So I actually went through and was surprised that somebody dropped it. I guess it would just weigh too much and people just don't want it. They probably went through, and if they're trying to farm the event like I've seen, they might have been over encumbered so they couldn't climb up the mountain. So you'll go through and you'll actually see a lot of people with their survival tents going through and putting them beside of the event. They'll be just within the event and they'll run inside their tent and they'll AFK that way. I personally like going through and helping during the events, so I've gone through and done that with the spits and the drums. I personally like the spits. Now here, I'm not sure exactly why the whole video did not go through and record any of my video or my, I'm sorry, it did record video, it did not record. I'm not sure exactly why, but it did not record my audio. For some reason it was something with the driver or the software, I'm not sure. Here's the lady that's going through and just AFK in the event. You'll see me actually go through and push on her to see what's going on because I couldn't tell exactly what the deal was, but I found out that that's what they were doing. Excuse me. Now, as I said, I personally don't like people that just sit there and do nothing for the event and just try to attempt to farm it, but I do like going through and having people be able to AFK events. For example, I work a full-time job at Walmart currently, and it makes it a little bit hard for me to go through and be here all the time to go through and farm this event. So I really wish they would go through and do stuff like they have with the daily ops, where you're less likely to go through and get the items that you already know. Now here I'm going to go through and check this bag and toolbox and metal box, because I've had people put stuff in there. I really wish they would go through and fix the events the way they have the daily ops set up, where you're less likely to go through and get the items that you already know. I think that would be great for the community and go through and help us with the sales and people going through and trying to sell items. I know that at one point in time legacies were like $100 in real life money versus caps. But hopefully they'll go through and they'll implement something that makes it a little bit easier. But as always, go through and let me know what you think in the comments. And thanks for watching the video. And thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you found the video interesting. Have a good one.